Okay. Now, what are the available papers for each tutorial? 1 to 4 for week 2 or 4, 6, 8. Assessment 2. Note that after watching this video, I strongly recommend that you send an email to tutor describing 3 preferred papers in the order of the preference and also preferred weeks of the presentation, either week 2 or 4. You have no choice of 6 and 8. And once the papers are taken by presenters for week 2, we will remove them from the Moodle. So you will see less and less papers available if many people start to choose it for week 2. And basically, we'll do that through the first come first served basis. All right. So now, what's available in terms of topics for the presentation? Each tutorial has roughly 4 to 5 subtopics with 4 to 5 papers per subtopics. And if you find a paper that you want to present within the subtopics, but not within the selection of paper, then just send an email to tutor to obtain approval. And if you again, if you don't find any paper to be interesting, or if the remaining papers are too difficult for you, then just let us know as well. And then we can probably provide more suitable papers for you. And in general, the difficulty of the papers are very difficult to predict. Some of them are easy and some of them are difficult to fit for the, especially presentation of 7 minutes. So the suggested strategy to choose the paper is that first, based on the subtopics that I'm going to explain, select one subtopic that you like, by your intuition. And then download all the papers recommended within each of these subtopics. And then just go through the paper's title and the abstract and then figures. And then you just make a decision and then send an email to the tutor. That's probably the best way to do. Okay. And then while you're doing this kind of selection process, if you really don't have any clue about the terminology that are used within this title, abstract, and figures, maybe it's easy to do that after consulting this glossary of the Quest for Consciousness. That's part of the reading assignment of week 1, or use just Wikipedia. Okay, some of the suggested glossaries are here. But you don't have to go through all of them at this stage. Okay, it's just only when you're at the loss to choose which papers to be presented. Okay, so tutorial 1 is on Monday 2 to 4, and we will discuss dreaming and consciousness, emotional consciousness, and the level of consciousness and its alteration due to the brain damage and general anesthesia. And also rare cases of altered conscious experience, such as by drugs or meditation or mind wandering or something like that. And then in tutorial 2, Tuesday, we'll discuss conscious perception in brain damaged patients, peripheral vision. How much do we see outside the central vision? You may see, you may feel like we are experiencing only the part of the vision that we are attending, but maybe you are also feeling like we see everything at once. This is a very controversial topic, and we are still arguing. And then the third one is implicit or unconscious behaviors. To study the function of consciousness, it's often very useful to contrast that with the unconscious behaviors. And then fourth one is the consciousness and the memory, whether memory is necessary for consciousness, and also what's the relationship between consciousness and short-term memory is an important topic. And the fifth one is a temporal perception. How do we experience time? And also, what's the minimum duration of the conscious perception? And how does it relate to fluctuation of attention? And then tutorial 4 contains attention and consciousness, how these two things are related. And then second is how conscious experience develops over the childhood, how the babies actually experience, or do kids actually experience the world in a similar way as adults? That's a question. And then it also contains consciousness and memory, time and consciousness, as in the tutorial too. Okay. So as I said, right after watching this video, I strongly suggest that you do the following so that you can secure your papers, especially if you are presenting in week 2. Okay, that's the end of this video.